I chose The Fire this time as a title inspired by James Baldwin, who for me is almost a patron saint. I started reading Baldwin when I was young, but didn't absorb the importance of what he was saying until I was much older. America is experiencing some of the very things that Baldwin was writing about in the first place. Those ideas felt important in this moment, considering some of the challenges that we are now experiencing in the US. And so The Fire this time is hopefully an attempt to address some of the past challenges in the hope that it will bring us a better understanding of how to deal with the present. Whenever I start a new body of work, I'm not starting that work for the purpose of teaching someone else a lesson. I'm trying to understand something myself. For me, they are an opportunity to sit with that moment, this canvas, and resolve whatever I'm struggling with. I started carving wood for the first time at the beginning of this year. As I looked through thousands of books in my studio, thinking about what might inspire me, I found myself back to these sculptures that I saw in my trips to Europe. And the representations of saints stood out to me quite a bit. But the question was, who are my saints? Who are the people in my life who have brought me healing? My family and my friends. So I've worked in tar for many, many years. I realized that the material itself has evolved in my thinking. When I first came to tar as a material, I was enticed or interested in the negative connotations of it. In the United States, the expression tar baby is a pejorative expression for Black people. And so initially that was the thing that drew me to the material. But I have fallen in love with the material, and I'm no longer as captivated with this idea of it as a negative connotation. I am now looking at the beauty of this materiality. I'm looking at the viscosity of this materiality. I'm looking at the depth of color of this black tar. And I'm excited now because I realize that ultimately my interest in that material has evolved in a similar way that Blackness has evolved in the US itself. In 2024, I wrote, directed, and was a producer on my first feature film titled Exhibiting Forgiveness. It was an experience unlike any piece of art I have ever made. Film is an incredibly collaborative process. And when I came back to the studio after spending all that time working on film, I wanted to try to find a way to allow, in painting, the narrative to evolve. In film, I have Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. And in painting, all of that happens in an instant. And it can slowly evolve as you look around the canvas, but ultimately it's in an instant. So I wanted to find a way to create a kind of similar experience to this Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, for the purpose of allowing the story to slowly reveal itself to you. And the result was these so-called drawer paintings. What it does speak to, the idea of drawer, is something that gets tucked away, something that's hidden. The thing that is tucked away is often the part of the story that we sometimes want to hide. We don't feel comfortable talking about. I think in this moment, it can feel very difficult, virtually impossible, to feel hopeful, to feel optimistic about what the future has for us, Americans. But it's important for us to remember that it couldn't possibly have felt very hopeful for these individuals that I'm speaking about right now. If anyone had the right to believe that the deck was stacked against them, it's these group of people. I'm not sure that hope is really the most valuable thing in this moment. I think determination is the most valuable thing in this moment. I think we need to decide and determine within ourselves that we have to pursue change. Regardless of whether we feel hopeful or not, we have to pursue change. And that is a characteristic, that determination is a characteristic that every individual represented in this exhibition had.